Alright guys, so AGL Rose has got his EZA over on JP. Now, this is a really big deal, only because this means as far as Dokkan Fest exclusives go, we're done before the 120% meta. So, we know that Kale and Khalifa, their EZA is coming. It was actually announced in the news. Usually I do like a video on all news announced, but it was very, very small. All we got is these two events. This appears to be a brand new skill orb event. We'll see what the details around that is. And then, of course, Kale and Khalifa have a traditional EZA coming out on the 16th. Probably when LRUI GOKU will come out. There will be an LR dropping with this. They never do show them in the news. It's always a secret. It's the way it goes. So it's going to be very interesting, right? Where do they go from here? Are they gonna like do a bunch of like regular unit EZAs, right? Like if we go into the box, I don't know, like, and go down here, right? Are they gonna do like an EZA, like awaken some super strikes and EZA them? Or, are they gonna go for a unit like, I don't know, like, well, that guy, okay. So I'd have to find a unit like this Trunks right here, GT Trunks, who could maybe EZA from a normal EZA, right? But what this means is that the 120% leaders, their EZAs are going to start very soon. I mean, we actually could have it start as soon as like 1 month from now during the Tanabata celebration. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Real quick before we hop in, I do want to go ahead and give AGL Rose a sticker. I have not given very many stickers to old units, usually only new units, but with the chain battle being having sticker rewards and stuff like that, I have an extra one to give out. I want to give one to AGL Rose before we do a showcase. I gave one to Physical Vegito Blue. I want to give him the AGL Rose. I mean, really, Vegito Blue and Rose are, I guess, one of the big reasons why I did fall in love with the game. Rose looks pretty good. It's not the best ever, but it's decent. It's solid, right? Like, this is definitely better than, some newer ones for sure. Like I would say Rose has a better looking sticker than, like, probably STR Cooler. But, like he has these effects, like, right there. Like, if that was glowing, too, that would make it look pretty good. But they did a good job with his aura. So, all right, let's go ahead and test Rose out on a few teams. Of course, he is very, very good. I also do have a slight amount of equipment on him. Just a little bit of extra attack, and then also one of these gold things to give him a little bit of extra damage as well. So, let's go ahead and see how good AGL Rose is. Alright, so we're going to start out on the Time Traveler team. Now, AGL Rose is definitely a fantastic unit. I do feel like they maybe could have made him slightly better, but he is still very good nonetheless. Like, I still think he is probably, I mean, easily I'd say top 10 EZAs. I don't know exactly how it would shake out at this point. I feel pretty comfortable saying Vegito Blue is 1, and then Janemba and Tech Gold and Frieza I do like better than AGL Rose, but then I think Rose could be 4. He could be as high as 4. I mean, I would need to think about it more. So, Rose gets attack every single time he's hit, up to a maximum of 180%. He gets 30% per hit. So, in difficult events and stuff like that, he is going to be a dynamite unit. He's going to be so freaking good. Oh, by the way, this guy has his sticker. I mean, it looks pretty shitty, honestly. I feel like that's not really that good. Again, the diamond background certainly doesn't help. Hopefully, Akatsuki one day will listen to us. And like that, see, it's moving very fast, but again, I feel like this one in particular, the diamond background really ruins it. Like, if there was no diamond background here, I feel like this would look super good, right? Okay, so, I mean, let's just go ahead and see how much damage Rose is going to be doing turn 1. He does have 100% attack at the start of turn. Then he is giving 30% attack to Extreme Class and 3 key to Extreme Class. So, the other Extreme units on this team are going to get stronger as well. We're eating a couple of super attacks. It's not going to be a big deal. Our defense is going up a lot as we get hits. Now, Rose also greatly raises defense. 2.37 is pretty good. But he also greatly raises defense when he super attacks. So it goes up by 50% right there. I mean, he one-shotted Gogeta, so see you later, Gogeta. He one-shotted his ass, but, it would definitely look a lot better at that point. I feel like LR Cell right here potentially could be a very good sort of running partner with Rose. Because Cell is a unit that will struggle for key, right? But he is very good. Like, Cell is definitely still like a borderline top 10 overall unit in the game, easily, I would say. But he just has, like, deficiencies, right? His links are bad. Key is an issue for Cell. It just is. That's the reason why the Android Size Cell Saga team with him as leader has 4 key, right? But Rose is going to work pretty well, because they do have Fierce Battle, they do have Big Bad Bosses. Big Bad Bosses, of course, being the best link in the game, I would say. Which is going to help out a lot. Okay, so we're going to get the Time Traveler support next turn, So we'll do this. Yeah, this is going to be good. Oh, no, this right here. This is what we want to do. Okay, what's Rose's defense up to? 93k. Remember that Golden Cooler does, I believe, is it 20% attack and defense, I believe he gives to all allies? Yeah, 20% attack and defense he gives to all allies, plus 2 key. So, you know, he was giving a little bit of defense to Rose last turn that we're not getting this turn. But, you know, well, the other thing, too, is that Rose could potentially finish off this Gogeta if he gets a crit, because, I mean, Gogeta's only rocking 7 health bars. That's not exactly a lot. 2.58, definitely very good. No way to tell, unfortunately, if Supremo Five Time had her full passive active or not. Jeez, man, this guy, you know, Rose, I mean, they really did. He is a very hard hit. It's like, here's the thing about Rose, right? It's going to be very easy for him to hit hard. It's a very casual 2+ million, right? Because, like, the most common link in the game, Super Saiyan, we don't have active right now, right? But, like, a lot of the teams you're going to run Rose on, there's a good chance you are going to have Super Saiyan units around him, right? To potentially, you know, help you out with that. So, for him to not even have that on these, like, sort of fights right here is pretty good. The 5-year anniversary fights are also pretty decent in terms of the tankiness of the bosses. Like, I feel like this is working out pretty well. Gogeta's hanging in there. Well, sort of tough. But then again, Rose almost one-shotted them both times, so. But I know the final phase here, Gogeta, is pretty powerful. But I still think, like, Dokkan events, I don't have a problem with them being easy, because obviously just, like, Dokkan is just not intending them to be hard. They want to make it easy for players to be able to grind it up, right? Totally fine. But I would like if they would extend just one extra phase so we could see some of these units and teams be more properly utilized. That's all I'm asking for. All right, so let me see. What are we sitting at here? Okay. So now he's at 155k defense. Now, when he super attacks right there, he's going to give himself, what, like 72k defense on super attack? So, I mean, already he's at the point where LR, or Int UI Goku in the Legendary Goku event can't damage Rose unless he supers him. Already. And we're not even fully built up, I don't think. So, like, he's super good. And, like, the damage he's putting out combined with this level of defense is very strong. I did test his Rose out on Super Battle Road, Realm of God Super Battle Road, when he came out on Global. He was rainbowed. And I was pretty impressed over there as well. Rose was able to take double digits with a couple of attacks as well on Realm of God's category Super Battle Road. So he will definitely carry over to some of these modes. Something like Battlefield, Rose is going to be insane. Absolutely just monstrous on Battlefield, right? With the way his defense is going to work, giving key. Like him, like units like this guy and Golden Cooler and stuff like that, units that are giving key, an attack buff, a defensive buff, but then also doing their own shit, is like super good. Like that's almost like, I feel like the next way to make units good is like, you know, so like imagine what, like, I don't know, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta does, right? Like the AGL 1-2 anniversary, how he's 120% attack and defense at the start of turn, right? Wow, this is pretty rare. But imagine that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, right? But then you just also toss onto him, all allies get 2 key and 30% attack and defense on his passive. Like, it's just that, like, that's insane, right? That also pushes him up to 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. Plus, he's given that the 30% to allies. And then on top of that, even furthermore, like, he's still, you know, the key he's giving, like, it's just so much. And it's going to work out very, very well for, like units moving forward that get, like, these sort of, like, buffs, but then they also do, like, so many other things. Look how mid this guy is, by the way. Like, 6-turn transformation, and he can't even break 2 million right there. I mean, he has big bad bosses as well, which allows him to get a lot more damage, but, like, man, he's just, See, that's what hurts LR Rose, too, is that this guy transformed as LR Rose's best friend, but, like, good luck. You know, Liam Neeson and Taken, good luck, because you're just not going to get it. Alright, guys, so we're still in the same event, but I realized I should show Rose's defense, I think, fully built up. So here he is at 200k. Now, again, when he super attacks, he raises his defense by 50%. So he's going to have 300k defense after he super attacks. In case you guys are not aware, at that point, Int UI Goku is only going to be doing like 100k damage to him on a super attack. So Rose's defense is highly impressive, and he is going to be a phenomenal unit for those long events. Now, I do like this. You know, they give us some units who are great for long events. They're giving us units that are good for short events. You know, units that are good against certain characters. They're doing a good job of giving us an all-around mix of characters good in a variety of situations, which is what we want, right? Like, Vegito Blue, I would argue, is a great unit for Super Battle Road, right? Or Battlefield. He's amazing for that. Rose is amazing for the long events. So they're doing a good job. I think they could have maybe... One thing I would say is that... Okay, so if I would change Rose, the one difference I would do with him is drop... So he gets up to 180% defense from his passive every time he's hit. I would drop that to 150%, take that extra 30% and put it onto his support type passive. So he gives Extreme Class 3 key, 30% attack, and then 30% defense. I think that's the one thing I think they could have given him. The rest of his card I am fine with. Let's go ahead and check him out, though, on a different team. Alright, guys, so now we're on the Future team. Obviously, Future is going to work out pretty well for Rose. One thing to remember about him is that he is going to be pretty self-sufficient. So, like, even if you're going to run Future full of super class units, Future Gohan, Trunks, Blue Vegito, stuff like that, Rose will still work fine with them, because he is going to have links like Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, Dismal Future, and Fierce Battle, which work very well, even if you're not running villain links, right? So that's the thing about Rose is... Compared to some other villains, like, say, maybe Cell, right? Cell usually needs, like, other cells to link up well. Rose works good just with Saiyans, and the Future team is, like, pretty much full Saiyans outside of, like, I don't know, Future 17 and 18, who don't really have a great card anyway. But, like, that's the thing. I could eventually, by the way, see, like, a Future Android 17 and 18 combo card, which currently does not exist, right? Like, we have LR Android 17 and 18, which is just supposed to be, I guess, the present-day androids, right? Even though, like, the LR androids art is clearly from the future, but they're not called the future androids, so we definitely could get that. I think as a Dokkan Fest at some point, it would work very well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get Merge Zamasu over to be with our boy Rose. Obviously, Merge Zamasu and Rose are going to be a very, very powerful partnership. One of the big reasons for that is because of the fact that Merge Zamasu is giving 50% defense to Extreme Class Realm of Gods units, right? So, like, Rose is giving key and attack to Merge Zamasu. Merge Zamasu is giving defense to Rose. It's going to be a pretty decent partnership. It's also another reason why I do think it would have been slightly better had they gone ahead and given Rose 30% to defense as well. That would have made it so he works way better with, like, AGL Zamasu, and then, of course, Merge Zamasu as well, because both of the, like, Merge Zamasu cards, the Tech one as well as the AGL one, both of them do need, like, defensive support to help them out a lot, right? It'll be interesting to see, like, I hope they don't... We'll definitely get, like, an LR Merge Zamasu, right? Like, that guy right there, and he'll be one of the best units in the game for sure. Hopefully, they don't make him a glass cannon like the other Merge Zamasus, though, like, because I would definitely like one that's built a little differently, right? I think that would work very well. Okay, so I'm going to keep Mai on rotation right here. Now, remember that the Merge Zamasus all have all the same links, and they work very well with Rose. But, like, right here, we're not really worried about the damage too much in this turn. I just want to let Rose's defense build up a little bit. We'll at least get one more hit by Skinny Boo right here, unless Rose dodges it, which is possible, but he didn't. All right, look at this attack stat, by the way, like 2.59, like he's in that range, like, just pretty much every time, like, very good. Like, he's a very, very strong unit. I think they did a great job with this Rose, right? Like, they made him very powerful. Now, I'm not going to show him on the Diabolical Villain category today. I mean, I could, but number one, it's very difficult to find a friend Vegeta and Nappa. They don't really exist right now. They're just not anywhere, really, Vegeta and Nappa units. Because they're currently the only LR for that Diabolical Villain team. I suppose I could do, like... I could do, like, Vegeta and Nappa, and then maybe bring, like, Transforming Frieza as a secondary leader, or, like, Merge Zamasu. But, like, I mean, it's just not, like, the actual Diabolical Villain team, right? I mean, the AGL Merge Zamasu, right? So, that team is where I think AGL Rose is going to be at his best. Well, Time Travelers and Diabolical Villains are the two teams where Rose is going to be so good. Because, like, you look at Diabolical Villains, it's got LR Baby, it has LR Tech Broly, right? Super 17, a lot of Golden Friezas and Final Form Friezas and stuff like that are on there. Fat Boo is on there, Omega Shenron is on there, all the Dragon Ball Z Brolys are on there. I think, yeah, Slug is on Diabolical Villains as well. So, like, there's a lot of characters on there that have a high potential of being, like, adjusted. Like we're going to get new versions. That category is going to continue to get stronger and stronger, and Rose is going to be very impressive, I think, on that category. So that is something to look forward to in the future, is Rose on Diabolical Villains. It's just, as of right now, 3.39, so, you know, Big Bad Boss is active. Our boy is able to get quite a bit more damage there, linked up with one of the Merge Zamasu. So, I mean, there we go. Like, AGL Rose, again, they did a very fantastic job with him. I think they made him phenomenal. I think he's just an amazing unit overall. I definitely look forward to seeing the 120% EZAs. That is, like, what's really got me sort of like, you know, like, how good are they going to be? Because, you know, you look at something like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and, like, he's breaking, like, 3 million right now. So, you know, what happens when his stat, like, at the bare minimum, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is going to get a stat increase. So, I mean, he's going to hit harder no matter what, even if they don't give him any extra attack in his passive or anything like that. So, I mean, it's just going to get very silly, basically, is what's going to happen with these 120% EZAs. And then, of course, there is units such as, like, Super 17 and Kid Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Broly and Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who don't really have, like, amazing almighty versions of those cards anyway. Like, Physical Kid Buu is definitely useful as a support type unit, but, like, you know, Super 17, Super Saiyan 3 Broly, like, we need those guys to be better in this game, so that's going to be awesome to move into the 120% EZAs. Let me know what you guys think of AGL Rose. Personally, I'm totally fine with him. You know, I feel like they could have made just like one slight adjustment to make him slightly better, but I would say overall, Rose was done, you know, rather well. So, all right, let's go ahead and move now into the breakdown for our boy EZA AGL Rose. All right, so this is Rose Stained Super Saiyan, Goku Black Super Saiyan Rose. His leader skill is Extreme Class Key 4 and 80% of stats, so leader skill sucks, but I mean, that doesn't matter. It's not what these EZA units are meant to be used for, right? His super attack is the Violent Fierce God Slicer, which greatly raises defense for 1 turn, does immense damage, and greatly lowers defense, so, you know, very, very solid right there. Greatly raising defense is a very good ability. One reason why, like, LR Super Saiyan God Goku is great, as well as the new Int Gotenks that came out in Golden Week, right? His passive skill, Mastery of Strength, gives him 100% attack at the start of turn. Then he gives Extreme Class Key 3 and 30% attack at the start of turn. And then Rose gets 30% defense every single time he's attacked, up to a maximum of 180%. Again, the one change I would take is take away 30% from his maximum defensive increase, and then just apply it to his support type buff. So he gives 3 Class Extreme Key, and then 30% attack and defense at the start of turn. I think that would be more than enough. His links are Super Saiyan, Fear and Faith, Nightmare, Prepared for Battle, Dismal Future, Big Bad Bosses, and Fierce Battle. So, of course, amazing link set. Most of the Rose units do have really good link sets that work very well in all these teams. Rose's 12K multiplier is 150%, which is, you know, traditional for these units. And then he is on a few different category teams here. So for starters, he's on Realm of Gods, which we could show him on. I mean, you know, they're doing a good job splitting Realm of Gods into Super and Extreme class, but we really could use a top-tier Extreme class Dokkan Fest Realm of Gods unit. I think a Demigra would work very well. Maybe the boss of Xenoverse 1, I think, a Transforming unit. That would be great. Rose is, of course, also on Potara. He will work very good on Potara, because he's going to work well with a lot of these different Saiyans that are on here, right? Then, of course, he's also over here on Future. Of course, he's going to be a very, very good unit on the Future category team. He's also over here on Time Travelers. Now, Time Travelers is where he gets very interesting, because there's just a plethora of different villain units on here. LR Demon King Piccolo, Exchange Majin Buu, LR Cell, LR Zamasu Goku, right? You just go through. There's so many different extreme class units on here that Rose giving key and attack is going to make him very valuable there. Same thing down here for the Diabolical Villain category. There's so many units in here, varying villain units, that a catch-all support type unit like Rose will be very, very strong and will help glue this team together. So Rose right now, you know, he's in a bit of a weird spot only because Time Travelers doesn't have a good leader. I mean, that Int Goku Black is starting to age so poorly. And then there's also Diabolical Villains, which also pretty much doesn't have a good leader, right? But when either of those teams gets a true leader, like Rose is one of the first units you put on there for real. So that's going to be very interesting. So Heroes AGL Rose's EZA. Now it's time to move on to the 120% EZAs. I am ready.